Hi there, it's Jan Marie Dorr and welcome. Glad you're here today. I'm going to be talking about client attraction, and I work with coaches and change makers, women who are up to big things in the world and want to attract more clients and sell more of their services and programs online. So if that's you, you're in the right place. And we're going to get started in just a moment. I'm going to talk about the inner work of attracting clients, because very often I see women are doing all the outer work. I'm sure you can relate, all the marketing, all the activities, all the hustle. But if the inner work is not being attended to, then you won't have the success you're looking for in attracting all the clients you want. And so I'm just going to check, I'm just trying to check something today because I've been doing Facebook Lives for a while, but I just want to make sure the technology is working and I'm able to see the questions. So if you're here and you want to say hi, I'd love to welcome you that way. If you're watching the replay, say hi that way, and let me know what you think about today's topic as well. But I just want to see, I'm just looking at my tablet here to see if it's playing online. I think there we go. Okay, I just wondered if there was another way for me to see the questions. You know, it's not until you go live that you can actually see what you're doing. Oh, and of course, that's not what I want to have happen. I have to, let me just close that out. Okay, there we go. So here I am live on my other device, so it's working. So I'm going to be talking about client attraction, the inner work of attracting clients. For coaches, change makers, any woman with a service who wants to use the online space to attract clients and to use a more spiritual approach rather than just the strategic. I like to combine the spiritual with the strategic, but I'm going to give you 3 steps today that you can go through very easily to do the inner work of attracting more clients. So it's based on, somewhat based on the law of attraction, although I like to take it a little further than that. It's more, to me, it's more the law of manifestation, because I firmly believe that anything you're wanting to create, if you have a desire, that it already exists somewhere for you, somewhere in the universe. In our, we live on different levels in our lives, and mostly we're living on, in the physical reality, but there's an energetic and a spiritual reality, and that's where the desires that you have are already existing. Maybe it's just as an idea, but there is the seed of an idea there, the seed of your desire. And what you're doing with the inner work is connecting to that seed that already exists. So that's why I like to call it manifesting rather than attracting, because to me, attracting means that it's outside of you and you're trying to pull it in, which can be hard work trying to pull it into you. But I like to think it already exists for you. So mostly I work with coaches, change makers wanting to attract more clients. And so a lot of the times I thought when I first started, I had to get clients. I had to get them to come to me. I had to, it's almost trying to make them sign up for your programs and whatnot. But it took me a while to find out, but I've discovered that it's more about the inner work. I talk a lot about mindset as well. And I often say that mindset is 80 to 90% of the work in attracting clients, having a profitable business, really growing your business. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. So do pop in your comments, questions, say hi. And so the inner work, a lot of it is about feeling to attract your desire. So when we're doing the outer work, it's usually about thinking. It's the strategy, the thinking. We're in our heads typically. And I know that's where I was for a long, long time, just, in my head thinking about it the old way. When I worked in corporate, it was more logical and linear. And that's how I started working on attracting clients. And it worked for a long time. It can work very well, but there comes a point, I find, that it becomes hard work and it doesn't work as effectively. So when I discovered the more inner approach, doing the inner work, which I was doing already anyway, I've always had a meditation and mindfulness practice, a morning spiritual practice. So I was already doing it. I just wasn't relating it to attracting the clients I want to attract, really growing the type of business that I wanted. So you start with the feeling that you'd experience. So for instance, if you're wanting to attract more clients, you want to have a fully booked coaching business, let's say. What would that give you if you had that? What's that feeling? So if for you, as an example, if 10 clients is a fully booked coaching business, or whatever that desire is for you, I'm just using this as an example of a desire, that what's the feeling you're looking for from having that fully booked business or those 10 coaching clients or that sold out group program? What will that give you once you have that? What will you experience then? Because we often think it's something in the future that we want to receive or experience. And so get in touch with what that feeling is. And it's different for everyone. It can change over time. I launch a lot of group programs. So from one time to the next, my desired feeling or my desired outcome from that can change. So for some, it might be money. I know that's a big one. We want money in abundance. That's why we want more clients. That's sort of a core feeling or a core desire, that feeling of abundance. Overflow, things like that. A lot of women I know tend to struggle with the money piece, especially when you're selling a service-based business, So maybe that's the feeling you want. Maybe it's freedom. I know for me, that's a big one as well. That's how I've designed and built my whole business, is to have that feeling of freedom. For me, it's freedom and adventure and abundance. So a lot of feelings that I want from growing my business. It's not just the fact of having a business or having clients typically that we want, it's those feelings. So really get in touch with what's the core desired feeling for you that underlies your desire to attract more clients. Perhaps it's fulfillment. Or contribution. I know that's a big one for a lot of the change makers that I work with. It's contribution, it's legacy, it's that inner feeling. And it might be happiness that you want. Or love. Love is a big one. That's usually at the core of a lot of our desire. We're living in fear, and what we really want is love. And it's not just love from the clients we're wanting to attract or work with. It's just that overall inner experience, of course, that we can give to ourselves as well. So think about what's that feeling that you're going for when you think about your desire. Now we're talking about attracting clients today. So if you were to attract all the clients that you want, whatever that number is for you, and whether it's one-on-one clients, whether it's a group coaching program or an online course, you want some students for that, really growing your business and ramping up your income, maybe your visibility. What would that give you? What's that feeling? And really get in touch with what that is. And I know for me, I love journaling. I have a journaling practice. And so this might be a way, if you can't quite tap into what that is now, that's a great journaling question for you. A journal prompt, I call it, if you're journaling, in the mornings. So what's that core desired feeling that you're really going for, that you think you'll receive by attracting clients? So the attracting clients is the outer outcome. What's that inner feeling that you're going for? So really focus on that feeling, what that is, and check in on that feeling. And what you want to do is start generating that feeling internally. So you want to affirm. The first step is to focus your attention on that feeling. And then the second step is to affirm that feeling already exists for you. It's already there. As I said, if we expand out from our physical realm, we go into the energetic and the spiritual realms, in that quantum field, where all possibilities exist, all levels exist. So it already exists for you. The desired future that you want already exists for you. We're just not quite connected into it. We're not, vibrating at that same frequency just yet. And by starting to feel this feeling, you will start to bring yourself in alignment, in harmony with that feeling, which is what attracts it to you. Usually more quickly, more reliably, without all the hustle and the struggle, whatnot. So really affirm that feeling, that outcome that you want exists for you already. Sometimes it's our future self, which is a whole nother conversation that I'll talk about as well, tapping into that. But we're just talking about the feeling right now that you'd have by attracting more clients, and then affirming that feeling already exists. So let's say it's abundance that you want, or fulfillment, or happiness perhaps. Connection might be another one. Connection's a big one, I know. That feeling, and really feeling that feeling, really almost expand that feeling out. And then you're connecting with a more of a creative power internally again to generate that feeling now. So you start to think about that feeling. Often things start in our mind, and then you drop down into your heart or into your solar plexus, down through your chakra system, and really feel that feeling, generate that feeling. We're able to generate whatever feelings we want. If we're willing to let go of the negative feelings, we can generate those positive feelings, and that's what you're doing. And I just encourage, focus on one feeling. You don't have to focus on all of them. Maybe we want, abundance and freedom and adventure and contribution, and, but that's a lot. It can get confusing. So pick one, that main core desired feeling that you want, that you feel that by attracting more clients and filling up your business, getting fully booked, having that money flowing in, what will that ultimately give you? So really connect in with that. Start to generate that internally, and you can generate it by bringing your attention to it, because anything, of course, that we bring our attention to starts to expand. So usually it means some quiet time, going into the silence, taking your attention off the external world, putting it on your internal world, going there and then expanding that feeling out. And this is how, in my world, this is how you can attract more clients, by feeling that feeling now. And only then will you manifest that inner vision that you have, that big picture vision that you're going for, that right now you're probably working really hard to get. Maybe you're hustling and doing a lot, you're doing a lot on social media. You're maybe, speaking and networking and creating content. That's a big one. So you're probably doing a lot, and we still need to do some of those things, but you don't want to rely just on that, the doing part of it. So there is some action, but it's more of an aligned, a more elegant action that you're taking. And it comes from that feeling. So when you really experience that feeling, that core desired feeling that you're going for, it will let you know what the next action is. So you're taking more of an inspired action, more of an aligned action, aligned with your soul and your spirit, and the future self that you're stepping into, where you have this fully booked business and all this abundance and money flowing in, and the life you really want to live. So it exists for you already. And the first step is to really connect with that on a feeling level, manifest that feeling in your inner world, and then it will start to manifest for you in your outer world, which is what we're typically going for. So this is a totally different approach. I don't want to call it a backwards approach. It's a reverse approach, let's say, to what we typically see out there on how to grow your coaching business and how to attract more clients. So I'd love to know your thoughts on this, your questions, your comments. Do you have a practice like this, more of an internal practice, and for attracting clients? Or are you only doing the external pieces, which is where I started, where many of us start? I thought that's all that was. I come from a corporate background where it's all the do, and the hustle, and, strategy, get it done, trying to get things. So this is a more spiritual approach, a more elegant approach, I think, using your energy, your spiritual superpowers as well, which is that power of attraction that you have. And for women, I work with women entrepreneurs. So for women, these feelings can be really heightened, because when we tap into our feelings and the emotional piece, wonderful things can happen, and you emanate that feeling out. And that is that vibration that your potential clients that are already looking for you, they're already searching for you, they'll start to feel that feeling drawing them in, magnetizing them to you. So your work, the action this week, or the challenge, is to do the journaling prompt that I gave about what would be that feeling that I'm going for by attracting all the clients that I want, or filling up my business, or bringing in the amount of money I want, by working with a number of clients that I have. What's that feeling I'm going for? And then really focusing on that feeling, expanding it out, affirming that it exists for you already. Often we're in denial about it. We don't even realize it. We live in fear very often. I know I have to catch myself on this, that I'm not denying that, let's say I want to feel more abundance or more freedom. Often we negate it right away through our fear and say, well, that's not available to me. That's not possible. Or I see someone else that's bringing in that six-figure business, but I don't think I can have that. So you're denying it right away. So notice those thoughts of denial. You want to shift them right away. Now that's more of the thinking part of it, getting our mind and our ego on board there, but so that you can really sink into that feeling and affirm that feeling. So that means, and expand it out. So by doing that, you're letting go of the fear-based thoughts, expanding out that feeling, shifting more into feeling, and that's what will attract to you all the clients and opportunities and the income and the fulfillment and the love and the happiness that you want, that you're ultimately going for, based on all the things we want, all the external things we want in our lives. It's that inner core desired feeling we're going for. So journal on that this week and see what I said. When you're really deep in that feeling, usually some sort of action, an intuitive hit might come that to do something. And so it's that doing from that place where it's not the hustle. It's usually a simple thing to do, and take action on that, do that thing, and that's what's going to draw clients to you. So that's using the law of attraction, the law of manifestation to fill your coaching business, grow your income, expand your visibility and your legacy out into the world, so you can reach all the people that you want to reach with your gifts and your talent, and be that change maker that I know you want to be. So that's it for today. You can pop your questions or comments in here. I always love to check in on this, even if you're listening to the replay. I'd love to hear from you. And so join me here weekly, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 12 p.m. Pacific. Join me live. I have a different topic every week for coaches and change makers who are up to big things in the world, who are growing their business, expanding their visibility and their legacy, making their ultimate contribution, living their soul purpose, basically. So join me Thursdays at 3. Join me here. You can check out my free resources at janmariedore.com, and join me here next week again. And I look forward to seeing you then. So bye for now.